Hello everyone, welcome to this mini course on points and miles for beginners. Since this is a mini course, my goal is to ensure that you have all of the foundational information that you need within a short amount of time so that you can plan and develop a plan for leveraging points and miles to book your dream trip while also saving money. Just to make sure we're all on the same page, this course is for people who are completely new to points and miles and also for people who work a regular 9 to 5 job, often with limited time off. This mini course is suitable if you fit any of the profiles that you see on the screen. If you want to save money on flights, travel in premium cabins, and use points and miles for travel, then let's get started. I'll be your guide in this mini course. My name is Mary and I'm originally from the Philippines. I've been to 6 continents and each year I take about 2 to 3 international trips. As of summer 2025, I would not consider myself as a full-time travel hacker or travel influencer. So I'm very much like many people who have a full-time job and can travel occasionally. I got into points and miles a few years ago because I was looking for a way to access airport lounges to make my trips a little bit more comfortable and also as a way to figure out how to book a premium cabin. Part of that was because there was a time when I had several back to back international trips, and I was really feeling exhausted at that point. And physically, it was just really tiring. And so I wanted to know how could I make my travel more comfortable and also less stressful so that I can enjoy more of the trip and be less worried about my airport experience. And after much research and trial and error, I finally felt more comfortable with using points and miles, and now I get to share that with all of you. Before we get started with all of the nice information and also some examples, because this is a pre recorded course, it is important to know that the information presented here will likely need to be updated every so often. When I provide updates, I'll post them in the notes section or upload a new video. Also, it's important to know that none of the content in this mini course constitutes as financial or legal advice. You will want to always consult with your advisor regarding your unique financial situation. In addition, part of my goal for this course is to make the process less stressful for you. So, with that, I want to be upfront and set a realistic expectation that for many people, finding flight deals will take lots of time and practice, and the same is true for accumulating points and miles. I know for many people who are new, they might be seeing that everybody's just booking all these lovely flights and business class, first class flights. And it creates this illusion that it's always happening and it's so easy, but that's not always true. And so when you're a beginner, you really want to give yourself time to practice, as with any skill, and not compare yourself to the other people who've been doing this full time or have been doing this for years. So I'm going to walk you through a lot of these strategies so that you can have a very realistic picture of what to expect. For this first lesson, we'll be looking at a few key terms so that we know what exactly people are talking about when they use the words like points, miles, travel rewards, rewards programs, award booking, award flights, and redemptions. So let's start with travel rewards or rewards programs. It's essentially the umbrella term for credit card companies that provide perks to their card holders. Credit cards come with different types of benefits. You might see credit cards that have annual fees that range from $0, so it's essentially free, to $800. So the higher the annual fee, the more perks that the card holder can access. You can see on the slide there just a couple examples. Capital One and Chase are some of the credit card companies that provide these travel rewards or rewards programs, but they're certainly not the only ones that do that. Let's take a look at an example of what a credit card rewards program could look like. Here, our scenario is you are drinking coffee or you purchase a cup of coffee for about $5. And so you will use your credit card to pay for the coffee. And depending on the card that you have, you might earn anywhere from 5 points or 10 to 15 points, right? So these points can accumulate over time, and then you will use those points to pay for your travel. Basically, anytime you use your credit card, you're able to earn points if it's the right kind of credit card. Credit card companies call the earnings from their rewards programs different names. For example, Capital One uses the term miles, other banks use the term points, but we use it pretty interchangeably. So just know when people are saying points and miles, they are referring to this currency that you earn when you pay for purchases using your credit card. For example, if you're playing a video game, there's a currency within that game that allows you to purchase items. And that's also why you might hear some people use the term points and miles game, because you're using a different type of currency to purchase certain perks. That said, miles can also refer to what you earn from airline loyalty programs. So when you fly with American Airlines, for example, you will earn American Airlines miles. When you fly with Delta, you will earn Sky Miles. That might confuse some people, but it's essentially still that same concept of it's a currency that is used by credit card companies and also airline companies. At the same time, you can also earn miles when you shop online via the airline shopping portals. Once you've accumulated points and miles, you can start using them for award bookings or flights or redemptions. Again, it's another interchangeable term that people have used. These refer to when airlines release a certain number of seats that are available to book using points and miles via their frequent flyer programs and credit card rewards. So might see on the slide there an example from Cathay Pacific, and there is a section on their website that says redeem flights. So when you redeem flights, you're essentially looking at the price of a flight when it's converted to points and miles. So you'll see these terms: redemption, redeem flights, or book with miles. Here's another example from Air France's website. You can see on their page, it is the term that they use is book with miles. So you would click on that, and then you'll see how many miles it would take to fly with them on select dates, right? So the other screenshot that you would see there is the different costs depending on the day and if the airlines are running promos. In fact, this is a flight that I wish I could book, but at the moment I don't have the sufficient number of miles to book for two people on a business class flight to Paris. So that just gives you a sense of the range of points needed to book some of these flights in February in this example. Ideally, you would be able to book the discounted rates, but that will depend on the availability and your travel date. So here's another example. This one is from Singapore Airlines on business class, San Francisco to Singapore. You can see there is an option to book this flight for 107,000 miles or points versus the 128,500 points. So when it is available, like the one here on this screen, it would be nice to book that, but sometimes that's not the case because people have taken up that flight, and so your option would only be the higher um, amount of points. The general tip that people give is essentially trying to look for your flights 10 to 11 months from your intended departure date so that you have a higher chance of finding a good deal. That said, I've also gotten lucky in that I only looked within maybe 5 months or so before my departure date, and I was still able to find a saver rate for a Singapore Airlines flight. So it really just depends on availability and sometimes really luck. Key takeaways from lesson 1: Many credit card companies offer travel rewards and rewards programs. Points and miles are the currencies of these reward programs. And award booking, award flights, and redemptions refer to airlines allocating seats that can be booked using points and miles. In the next lesson, we're going to take a look at some of the commonly used credit cards for points and miles and also frequent flyer programs. See you then!